Okay, kids. Hey, we're live. Guess what? And nobody can tell me we're not. Hi, it's that Kimberly again. I'm back for another Kind Kids live, and I have to tell you all, thank you for joining me. We're running a little bit late today, and the reason will remain nameless. He may or may not. He or she may or may not, never mind. Anyways, so I'm going to introduce my guests. I'm going to let them introduce themselves when they come on here, Kind Kids Live. But I just wanted to thank everyone. We are doing our card trick today again. So they will be picking the topic, and then I will be answering the questions. And since I'm a little rusty from being in El Paso, shout out to EP for 2 weeks, you never know what the question's going to be. But I promised these beautiful humans that I would go easy on them. So we are live on the Facebook. Shout out to my boyfriend, Brandon. YouTube, as well as the LinkedIn. It's not just for finding a job, people. We are live there as well. And so make sure you put in your comments. Ask your questions. If you watch on the replay, these are live, and then there is a replay. So if you catch the replay, put a tell me where you watched it from, what you liked, if you thought Sam's background and Diana's background were awesome, I don't know, anything like that. Yeah, so that's it. So now let me see, hold on. This is technology, kids, so it does take me a couple times. Whoa, now we have it, because Diana's been playing with my backgrounds. Anywho, so welcome today's Kind Kids.
Hello.
Say hi, Diana and Sam.
Hello.
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 Hello. So, at a high level, both of you will take your turn introducing, telling the audience who you are, where you're coming to us from, and I don't know what your favorite color is. I don't know. Whatever you want to say. No selling on here, though. And then we'll jump into the categories.
Did you hear that, Sam? No selling.
Yeah, I know. I didn't sign up for
that. Okay.
Diana first.
Well, I'm Diana, and I do a lot of things. I'm a content creator, producer, director, mama.
Yes, you are.
Formulator, entrepreneur.
Yes, you are.
And a very kind person.
Yes, you are. Most of the time, with me, anyways.
Yeah. You may not think I'm kind, but if you know me, you know me.
Yeah, mama bears are kind too. We're all mama bears. So
yes.
Okay, Sam. The bovine whisperer.
Which Diana, I think you forgot to mention. You're in Dallas, correct?
Yes, I forgot to mention my location. Yeah. I wanted to keep it anonymous, but
hey, just like in the big shout out, the ATL, she lives in a suburb of DFW that will remain named undisclosed.
And an undisclosed location.
There we go.
So I am in Wiggum, Georgia, which is not a suburb of Atlanta. It's actually not a suburb of anything. It's in the middle of nowhere in Southwest Georgia. Live on a tiny little farm. I am a multifamily consultant, marketer, business development person,
all around genius,
farmer, volunteer, activist.
Are a farmer.
Yes. Do a little bit of everything.
Yes, you do, and we love you for it. You keep us in line,
and a very kind soul,
a very kind soul as well. Yes, for sure.
Oh, glad I got you guys fooled.
who likes to keep us in check all the time, right?
For sure.
For sure.
That's a polite way to put it, but yeah. Okay.
Well, hey, you do. That's what kind kids do. They let us be us, but then they also hold us accountable. So, without shaming us. Okay, are you ready?
Sure. Yes.
Here's the kid. Oh, here we go. Okay, what color are y'all picking?
Blue or red for me? Sam? What do you want to go, Sam?
I don't care.
Obviously red.
Red.
Red is marketing. Marketing is the red category.
Bye-bye.
So,
Go ahead.
I actually have because I went over to the Insta and I did a call to action, which we won't use acronyms because I hate it when people use acronyms I don't understand. So a CTA is the call to action, which I didn't know that's what it was. But anyways, and I because Instagram does not plug into StreamYard just yet. I went over there and asked that group to come over and check us out and ask a special question. So with that said, in the marketing category, what, Sam and Diana, in your realm separately, because Sam, you are a farmer and a multifamily executive, and Diana, you are a creator, content producer, like you've been in the big screen television era, but you're also a multifamily executive. Think in those realms, what is the biggest or funniest or whatever marketing campaign that you've ever been a part of or seen, and why? Why was the biggest? Why was the most successful? And why did you love it so much? Go for it. Whoever wants to go first, raise your hand.
Go ahead, Sam.
And I like to use shiny penny because so if you get off topic, I might forget, but go ahead.
So for me, I guess probably I've done a lot of somewhat funny marketing things over the years. I love to dress in costume. I'm a little rusty these days, but I do love to dress in costume. Some friends of mine, when I lived in Tampa and was in multifamily sales there, some friends of mine that were other vendors, all for different supplier partners. I apologize. Dirty word. We would go out marketing together and go to regional offices and different properties, to help each other, introduce each other to people we didn't know. And so we decided in October to dress up for Halloween. And we dressed up. It was 4 of us, so we dressed up as the Wizard of Oz, and I was the Tin Man. And still, people to this day, I can be in Tampa or anywhere in Florida, and they'll, Tin Man,
Wow.
So it was a lot of fun. We went around and took pictures. Another one, I'll mention the second one. When I was much younger and was on the management side, I was a manager of a property in the middle of nowhere, was on a curve. People passed us by all the time. So I came up with the move in special where I dressed as a cow and stood out beside the road with his sign. Yeah,
you were the bovine whisperer.
Yeah. My thing with cows. Yeah, so
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool.
I have a quick question, so I don't forget. I have a question. When you opened up your heart, did it say there's no heart here, but the name of the
property
supplier or whatever inside,
marketing
inside? Yeah.
It wasn't that detailed. So it was Florida in October, which is hot. So I was, sweating to death in this like vinyl suits.
Difficulties. Yeah. Okay, we're back now. We're spinning. Okay, sorry, Sam. Go ahead. It wasn't that detailed, but what?
Oh, I said my costume wasn't that detailed, down to that level of detail. I was just trying to avoid a heat stroke. That was my focus.
Okay. And it was effective.
Yes.
Okay. The marketing was effective. Well, for me, I don't know. It's kind of hard to pinpoint one of them because I've worked in many different areas and every campaign is completely different. Oh, okay. Sorry. Multifamily. Yeah. So every campaign is, even in multifamily, you're reaching different audience, different target market, or you're trying to maybe push a vendor product, supplier partner. So one of the most effective techniques for any campaign that I've worked on is when we include real people. So once we include real people, it just takes it to a whole other level. Yeah. There's like 2 sides, because yes, stock photography is amazing, it looks beautiful, but the moment you incorporate real people, authentic, just raw people with a real testimony, it changes the dynamic, because now you're connecting with somebody that you could be like that person. Yeah. So you're like, oh yeah, I'm like Sam. Oh yeah, I could definitely see myself there. So those marketing campaigns for me overall have been the most successful.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm gonna like tout on you a little bit. When we worked together back in our days, you definitely hurt your creativeness when you set us up for pictures and we did company stuff. Those seemed to get more reaction when we'd put those on social media, when we showed our people, our culture, the behind the scenes, right? Diana had this great way, her and Janet would get together and have these fun ideas for photo shoots. Maybe K-Dub might have been involved as well. But point being is that, yeah, when it was the people, the real authentic raw people, we got more interaction from it.
And it's because you're seeing somebody that you constantly work with, you've heard them on the phone, you've talked to them, and when you put a face to them, it just makes that connection even stronger. So now you know who you're working with. That's why, like, even just on your profiles, it's super important to have your headshot, to have you as a person, who you are, so that when you're working with anyone or you're promoting anything, that faith level just, boom, goes up.
I used to work for an appliance company, and for so long it was always the focus on the appliances when it came to marketing. And it was, it's in an old industry. It's almost like cars were back in the day. It was just the focus was on the machine, and quite often the manufacturer was who helped you with your marketing. And we moved to lifestyle marketing because we focused
on that's right.
There you go.
we provided a service that, the end user was that, we were engaging with the end user. We were responsible for whether it was operating or not, and providing them quality equipment. And it made such a significant difference in telling the story. It sparked in the sales process. It sparked a lot of different types of conversations with clients and potential clients that just having a picture of the latest machine would not have.
Yeah, that's awesome. You do such a great way to explain those different, what do we want to call them? Like just the generation, the genres, the times. You're able to explain that so well, Sam, that doesn't offend, the old people like me that were around in those times that may or may not have known that appliance company, warehouse company that you're Okay, next category. Oh yeah, I don't want to answer the question. Sorry, we don't want to be here all day. I'm the host, so I get to pick. Hold on a second.
Here, we will do that.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Your turn, Sam.
Oh, green.
Oh, geez. That's a good one, Sam. Very good. Okay. Technology. I'm not lying. It's true. Okay, let's think. What's the what is? Ooh, we're gonna do two. One, what is the latest technology that you think nobody knows about right now that you've discovered? Right? I know. I mean, come on. And then two, for latest technology. We'll just first one. Latest technology. Who wants to go first? That you think nobody, and if they do, that's okay. We can have a discussion about it.
Hold on, let me check on my secret.
No,
the apps. Hey, like I literally, I'll answer this question, and it might not be secret technology, but I definitely always start using different apps, testing different apps. A lot of like photo editing apps, a lot of this recent one that I got introduced to that I love now, thanks to Kimberly Scott, is StreamYard, which is a really cool platform. And just, all these, you just have to keep trying. And these apps are getting more and more expensive, but you try them and you see if they're what you need. If not, you gotta be very cautious to cancel your subscription because they'll just keep running. So I think there's not one secret one overall that I'm using, but I use many platforms. And I may use it once or I may continue to use it. One platform that I really do like, and like I said, I'm going to check on my phone, is called PhotoFox. And it just like helps you edit and kind of put text into your images. It's only image wise.
Can I do my own memes? Will it like you do text
Yes,
and video?
yes. So it's really cool. It's really easy to use. It is a paid subscription or a paid platform.
Yeah.
There is a free version, but obviously you are limited to it. But that's one of my favorites that I've been using lately.
Okay. I'm going to PhotoFox everyone.
And it's like a whole suite. I think it's an Enlighten something. Let me look it up and then I'll give you the correct information. But they have a video platform. They have a photo platform. They have a like an image, a looping image where you can add motion in the back. So it's pretty cool.
Sam?
You know, I can't say that there's like any new technology that I wasn't using before that I've recently started using.
Thanks, Dee. Really? Nothing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. I guess, you know, I just don't use, I use, you know, the standard technology and apps that everybody uses in their day, but I don't do the kind of work that Diana does and that you do.
But your business-wise, like, it doesn't have to be.
Well, for me, I wouldn't say that it's new. I mean, CRM technology has been around for a very long time now. But I think what's fascinated me is I went from, you know, working for a company for many years that was sometimes behind on technology, and they didn't necessarily have to be as advanced as other companies because of the line of business they were in. But when it came to CRM, they had something internal that was kind of clunky and slow. Now looking back, it was amazing when we first got it. And then leaving and going to work with clients that had different CRM technology, you know, Salesforce and HubSpot. It's amazing to see how quickly CRMs change. You know, they're always one-upping each other. And I think from a sales and business development perspective and customer engagement perspective, you know, it just amazes me how you can get used to the CRM that you're using and get comfortable with it, but you really have to stay on top of what the other players are doing because they're going to come up with something better that's going to, you know, outdo you. Your competitors are going to use it and it can outdo you and outperform you. So it's something that fascinates me, I guess you could say.
I mean, I do believe in, I remember when you bring up, because you bring up CRMs, we tried something that I felt was very clunky back in the day. And this was like right when Salesforce was becoming the big behemoth that it is. Shout out to Marie, who's over there. But it is, and the CRM that I have used for the past 3 years just got bought by somebody, but it is about, you know, making you faster and better. You know, technology can definitely help you, and it can hurt you. Don't get me wrong. But I'm a believer of now, after the 15 years of being in business and now 3 years on my own, I do believe that in paying for the subscription, whatever it is, maybe, you know, but testing, I'm not going all in until you test at least 3, right?
Yes.
And this is a fun fact that I didn't know until I had to use an iPhone, that Android users and iPhone users.
Can we not have this conversation? No, just kidding.
It's
always a debate.
Well, no. I mean,
before you start, let's have, how many iPhone users? Are you an iPhone user or an Android user?
Okay,
Come on, put it up there.
Put an emoji in. Okay, so if you're an Android user, put a purple heart in. Shout out to Amanda Shabondi because she's going to come on and put a purple heart in. And if not, I'm going to go tag her.
And if you're a cool person and you use an iPhone,
I didn't want to go there, but
you just know you're cool.
Put in a white heart.
A creative. Is there even a white heart out there?
Yes, there is.
It's just a red heart.
Put in a red heart. My point is iPhone users will get duped into paying before an Android user will. So you all have a higher, you guys won't, like, apps won't last in the what's it called? Your Apple App Store. Android users want to test it out, so you can't just automatically go for paid. Like there's like Apple, you're advised by consultants in the app world, when you have an app, as it relates to the iOS, that you make it paid and not free. Right?
So could this go into like a relationships? Android users may not be Never mind. Let's just
Yeah, we don't want to go down that end because I got a story about little
our Apple users more faithful is what I'm saying.
No, I mean they might be a little bit, but unfortunately, I had an iPhone.
Apparently,
you had both.
We can be duped easily. Apparently, Diana, we're stupid people, is what she's saying.
Oh, we like to spend money.
You like to spend money, not duped. Okay, so let's be real. I had the first. Let's talk about this, right? Technology.
No, we like to pay for creativeness. I mean, behind everybody's work, there has to be payment.
Okay, look, kid. Mama Bear is about to get mom on you. I took iPhone 1 and it sucked because
iPhone 1, come on, dude.
You let me finish.
I don't think they even called it the 1. They just called it the iPhone.
Your mouth. Hey, you iPhoners, do you even know that Steve Jobs stole the iPhone? No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking, iPhone people. Hey, do you know that Jobs, that iPhone was not the first iPhone? You know who had the first iPhone? Go Google it, but you know who had it? It wasn't Jobs. He just did a great job of marketing the iPod, so he had to do the iPhone. But do you know who it was? Anybody?
I don't need to go that deep. I like my phone.
Cisco Systems. Anyways, my point is that the iPhone 1, 2, it didn't get good and didn't have the right technology in it until like the 3 or the 4, where you could actually make a phone call, right? Because Jobs went, he did exclusivity, he got the most money, whatever. Well, that's a whole other debate. But my point is that AT&T could not handle the load of people that were trying to download. And I wanted just to make a phone call because I was using it for business. And I would hang up on my clients going, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Before it was a Verizon or Sprint.
And that was great marketing. Can you hear me now? Because we all identify with what it is automatically.
He went and got bazillions from one company and waited out his terms and got bazillions from the other company. So go figure, right?
Anyway, no, I mean, my preference for the iPhone, and let's just go into this conversation. It's just so easy for me to use. I can actually be productive and create content through my phone.
You can't be on that Android.
80% of content I create is through my phone. So that's just my preference on an Android. I don't even know how to say it. No, on an Android, I don't even know where to go. Like I told my husband, you're so lucky I can't go through your phone because I don't understand it.
Well, I have both. I have the 8. I should have gotten the 10. I shouldn't have.
You should have listened to me.
What?
You should have listened to me once again.
Whatever. Oh, don't go there. Don't go there. Okay, Sam, what do you want to say?
I was just gonna say, I guess I'm a minimalist because I am a minimalist. I'm all about like saving my money for other things, but I still have the iPhone 7.
That was a stab, wasn't it? It's like, geez. Judger. No, I had to get this. I didn't want it to go to waste. It was because of the transfer of that other company. That's why. So,
well, I mean, I do make money through my phone, so I don't mind spending on technology, on equipment, on your tools. Like for me, my phone is a tool. So I don't really care spending that money on the apps because I'm creating content. So it's not like I'm practicing or doing anything. So I don't mind spending that money.
Yeah, we'll get back to the business reasons behind it all. If you spending the money is 100% the way to go. If you have your choice to test it, but I say test 3 of them. If you got to pay a little bit each month, test them before you go all in. That's definitely some serious experience, business advice that I had to learn the hard way. But it definitely, when it comes to any technology, especially your website, people, get 3 bids. Jeez, I'm having trouble right now. Although Spirits is going to help me with that. So thank God. Anyways, so we now know what our preferences are in phones, and hopefully nobody is upset about that.
So add your red heart if you're an iPhone user.
Yes.
And a green heart, because green is Android.
I'm purple heart.
Oh, because you're an Android user.
I was not expecting an in-depth, detailed conversation about telephone technology.
Unicorn. You got to put a unicorn emoji is what we want. Not even a purple heart.
We're confused.
Or red heart.
iPhone users would keep it simple. Red, clean heart.
You agree with me. If you agree, red heart. I'm writing it. I'm going to put it in the comments. Unicorn. If you agree with Kimberly, and then I'm going to just say that. Talk amongst yourselves, folks. Or red heart if
you agree with Kimberly.
If you agree with Sam and Diana.
We just want to know who the users are.
Well, okay, so this is
I want
perfect.
people to agree with me. That's what life's about.
No,
right?
you shouldn't, Sam. I didn't even tag you in a video this morning that I wanted to, but because I was saying
because it was Gary Vee.
But this one was a really great Gary Vee quote.
I don't dislike him.
I know you don't, but listen, can I just say this? And then I'm going to share the video with you on Instagram. But I put it in my stories for all my Instagrammers that may or may not come over. And I even put a secret call to action for the bovine whisperer as well. Yeah. But he was at a conference and he said about dying on your sword as a marketer. I know that's why I asked the questions I did. He said, but I'm going to let you go watch that. It's on Instagram.
Oh, no. Are you talking about because of the comment, the facetious comment I made about people agreeing with me?
No, about dying on your sword, and instead of, well, it's not facetious. I know you don't want people. I think you don't want people to agree with you all the time.
No, God,
are you hanging out with us?
No,
you know me very well.
Is always right.
I don't need people to agree with me ever. I'm pretty good. Yeah,
okay,
I'm pretty good with my own thoughts.
Yes, I know you are. That's why you love us. That's why you love us, anyways.
So let's pull another card. Come on. Let's check out what we have there.
Yes, we got one more. Ready? Oh, there's some. Ooh, shiny penny. There's somebody at my
purple. I can't see. Mindfulness. Mindfulness.
That can mean a lot of things.
Yes, it can.
Who wants to go first? You got 1 minute each.
Well, I mean, mindfulness, you have to use it in so many ways when you're creating, because you have to think about every player on the team. So when creating, we know fair housing and all those different categories we have to follow. So I think mindfulness plays a role in everything we create. Being empathetic to your audience, making sure that you are really relating with them. Currently, we're working on a project, and it's like a recruiting project. So it's like everything has changed since COVID. So we cannot market the same way that we used to market before, because everybody is working differently now. So if you're looking at a recruiting video and you're saying, oh, I really want to work there, but it's showing like an office space, that's really not authentic anymore, because that's not how life is going. So we are working on this whole new project where it will be user-generated content, because that's what's happening right now. People are working out of their homes, they're working out of their own space. So to market a recruiting video highlighting office spaces, it's not going to be effective whatsoever.
That's like Walmart, one of the first videos that Walmart put on television, where you can tell they were user-generated content from people's Instagrams, because people most of the time on IG shoot up and down when you should shoot this way and then put it toward the camera, but that's another story, another day. But it was somebody singing, it was in the same song, and they spliced them together, and it was awesome. It was either Amazon or Walmart, one of the two, but it was user-generated content. People, we want to see ourselves, right?
That's the key. It's back to like somebody that you know, somebody you could relate with, somebody that is really you, like not this expectation of perfection that exists.
There's no perfection.
Photoshop. Like I was watching these influencers that got busted. So they would like have this cam, and there's all these filters that I didn't even know about. So like right now we could have a whole different face and pretend we're somebody else through webcamming. I haven't gone that deep yet.
There's a word for it. I can't remember it, but
I can't remember it. But it was so interesting that they got busted, but you know, it's user-generated content. It's where it's at, definitely.
Sam, what's your opinion?
And just talking about mindfulness, what it means to me, more or less. I think, Diana, you said empathy, which totally I agree. I think I'm a person that thinks many steps ahead, more steps ahead than most people, and that's a good and a bad thing.
No, it's a good thing when you're a marketer.
Yeah,
and operations,
it's a good thing.
Both sides, right? Your brain, Sam, is both sides, right? Diane and I are both sides in a different way, but yes, agreed.
It's a good thing as long as you have the right people around you, like you two, to step in and say when it's a bad thing, right? It's because sometimes you just don't know.
And for us, the same for you. Like we need that it's all about a balance. Yeah.
So go ahead.
For me, I think mindfulness is thinking ahead, especially in marketing and in business, and also adding empathy into that. And that goes into thinking steps ahead about what you're doing. Will it resonate with people? Will it resonate with people? Will it offend anyone?
Yeah.
What will this look like when somebody looks at it 10 years from now? Like thinking about it from all angles.
Yeah.
And just being considerate. I mean, that goes to empathy, but just you're considering a lot of factors, but you're considering, will it really deliver your message to the right person?
Yeah.
And will it also not alienate any of the people you're trying to meet?
Yeah.
But I think, mindfulness and marketing, it's definitely not something you just do on a whim. I think if you're marketing with mindfulness, it's not a 5-minute meeting to come up with a campaign. It can be 5 weeks, depending on what that camping.
And a lot of people don't understand that. Like they think, "Hey, can you shoot something for me? And can it be done tomorrow?" It doesn't. There's a lot of back work that goes, like a lot of pre-work that goes with it.
So I have to say this.
Go ahead, Sam.
Oh, I was going to say, like building websites, especially when it's you're already have a website, which every business at this point has some version of a website, but it's when you're talking about enhancing it and you get the opinions of everyone in your company or even your customers. It's like, oh, just do this and this. And people are like, all right, yeah, let's run with that. It's like, no, great idea. Like put the ideas down, but you have to think about how this will affect not just the one person that gave you the idea, but how's it and the longevity of it. Will this be a meaningful change for what you're trying to do?
You just talked about what Gary was speaking about, or just, I'm going to go share that video with
you. You're going to have to see it.
Yeah, you're going to have to watch it. It's only a minute and 6, it's less than 90 seconds.
You heard it here, folks.
Yes.
If you watch Gary Vee, you should start listening to me.
I think Gary Vee's stealing your ideas.
As much as Gary Vee.
I think Gary Vee's stealing your ideas.
First off, you guys
inside joke
are amazing humans, and you all definitely show me plenty of empathy and kindness. That's why you're on this show with me today, because nobody else would join me today because it was 4th of July weekend.
And that's not a great introduction.
Wait,
for kids. We're out of here.
No, but listen, I'm serious. Number one, we have to listen to the customer, or you have to listen to the end user, whoever it is. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. And I learned this the hard way. Just Gary Vee always re-emphasizes it to me on the right days. But empathy is one thing, and is the first thing that should be. But then your end consumer, if we don't listen to the end consumer, or even or your office, if it's your people, whoever your circle is. I'm not talking about circles of groups. I'm talking about if you're an employee. If I'm the head of the company, of Diana's company, and I'm not listening to my people who are the consensus, right? And I'm trying to put in a refrigerator, right? And it's going to benefit them. Then if I don't listen to them,
you might as well ask them which one they want.
Yeah, but it's the same thing when it comes to marketing. It doesn't matter what Diana and Sam and Kimberly think when it comes to marketing. If we don't listen to the consumer, well, first, if we're not kind and empathetic, period, end of day, we're shitty. Right, that we're not shitty people. That's not us. But 2, we're going to have somebody that's going to hold us accountable if we ever have a bad day. But my point is, it's the end user, it's the consumer that we need to be worried about. It's not our opinions. It's not.
I think that I definitely learned that in marketing. Which is marketing. When I moved into exclusively a marketing role and was helping sales, you can be so convince yourself this will work. I know it. You're passionate about it. We're going to make this change. I'm going to fight for this change. And if you don't stop and ask yourself, I used to keep it on a Post-it, for any new idea, it was, it's not necessarily about what I think, or it's also about like what got me to where I'm thinking that. Was it all me, just my own opinions that led to a conclusion, or did I actually engage with people, the right people, the end user, whoever it was going to impact? You always have to stop and make sure you've asked yourself those questions, but also if you need to engage other people, to ask them, because sometimes the ideas you're so convinced of yourself will make the absolute biggest change and the biggest impact are the ones that resonate with hardly anyone. Only those people that are very much like you
understand it.
And not different people.
Well,
yeah.
Sam, that's why I think I thought you were 35, because you definitely have that. I mean, I'm giving Sam a compliment last night when we were on the phone, chatting about non-work related stuff, but more like cows and farms and stuff like that. He was getting me educated. But my point is that you do think so far ahead, and you do take so many things into consideration that you school me all the time. So shout out to you for doing that. I'm gonna give you big props for that. But you school like anybody that's around you. I feel like you definitely complete an organization in a way that you help everybody hold each other accountable. You are mindful and try to be considerate and kind, and if you're not, you're okay with me and Diana like putting you in check, but you are a good balance to any organization in that sense,
definitely.
right? So you think far enough ahead, you have the creativeness, and then everything in between you're okay with it all coming together. And if you are the only person, you will take it and run, like you'll figure it out. You don't need people, you'll figure it out, right? So and Diane and I mean, I don't need to dote on her. I always dote on her, but I need to dote on you because it takes those two mindsets. You have to have a little bit of Diana, a little bit of Sam, a little bit of Kimberly, a little bit of Brian, a little bit of Jeff to get things done, right? Like it just, and then
it makes me think about like when I was building a marketing team that, in some ways, my first hire, I got lucky that she was not exactly like me, because I was a little green in hiring people. And so I probably was trying to hire someone that I thought would agree with me the most, or that I could agree with the most frequently. But she was different enough that she could, reel me in or push me along at the right moments. And I could do the same for her. And I remember when we added the next person to our team, she was very green. She had no experience in the same industry, very little experience doing what we were hiring her to do, which was like, oh, is this going to be a bad thing? But her being so green, she asked some questions that we had in the very beginning ourselves that, now we're like, oh, that's just stupid. But she asked them and it's like, but wait, why is she asking this?
Yeah.
And some of the things she point out, it was like, oh my God, we're so deep in this that we didn't even recognize this. So it's so important to surround yourself with people that have different strengths,
and that are smarter than
people when you doubt yourself,
and that are smarter than you. That are smarter than you. At the end of the day, I mean, I ran a company, so I can say this from my own experience that yes, don't get me wrong, I have my opinions and I am stubborn and everything else, and I have a vision that I know is 10 times, well, not 10 times.
It was ahead of the game. It's ahead of the game, yeah.
Ahead of the game, right? But I need people like you and Diana in my life, and Brian and Jeff, shout out to them. And I'm gonna, I'm gonna give them a hard time because they also turned me down, but it's okay. That's what the kind kids do. They hold us in check. But my point is that you have to hire people that are smarter than you and that also hold you accountable. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be the one that stands up and says, I'm going to take the heat. If something goes wrong, I have no problem in saying, you know what, Mr. Customer, whatever, Mr. Mrs. Hey, is my fault, at the whatever, whether I executed it, the project or not, I always took the no problem. We're going to make it right. And I took the responsibility.
For sure.
I think in leadership, one of the common mistakes that people make when hiring someone for their team or promoting someone to their team or on their team is that if that person gives them any fear that, oh, they may know a little bit more than me on this or several things, that puts fear in the leader. and
that they're
that
going
is
to
what,
take your spot. Yeah, and that's
yeah,
not how it works.
that feeling is what should energize you and be like, this person's going to challenge me
This
and
this
teach
person's
me
going to
in that
make
area.
me better. Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
all
And
about like empowering and learning from others. Like
yeah,
you share, we all are experts at something. So
Yeah.
that's where you share that knowledge. But you do surround yourself around people that have other qualities that you may not be great in, because you learn from that.
Yeah.
Every person in my life I learned something from.
Yeah.
And you have
Yeah.
to be super
Yes.
open to learning. Like as a producer and director, like we have to dive in, like talking about empathy, like, and to realize, okay, this is what this product is. Like we have to break it apart, understand it, put it back, and then deliver it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you don't understand what you're selling, then you're not going to put the right energy or the right thought process behind it, or the right target audience behind it.
Yeah. And but it takes and you just learn that over time. Like it took me 50
time. Yeah.
time to learn those things. I always tell people that I nobody's ever seen or asked to see my transcripts for my college BA degree, but I earned an MBA in the School of Hard Knocks by starting a startup during Katrina, multifamily industry, 2000 and what was that, 3 or 4? I don't remember. When I started my first business, like I didn't go to school for business, right? Didn't go to school to be an entrepreneur, quote unquote. That word wasn't cool back then when we were around starting CTM, but I earned an MBA, a master's degree in business by just doing it and trial and error, and in one of the hardest industries, I feel one of the most beloved. I love me some apartment peeps. Shout out to all our apartment people out there. But you learn as you go, and I learned in a tough industry to learn in, right? Because it takes a long time sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does, but
and it's constantly evolving, it's constantly changing. So you really have to be on top of your game. Just even with social media, like those platforms are constantly changing, new ones are constantly popping up. So you really, as a content creator, have to stay on top of the best techniques, the newest things. And,
absolutely.
and you just get better at it, because with anything, if the more you do it, the faster you create, the better you create. And I could look at some of my work from a couple of years ago and be like, man, what was I thinking? Going back to Sam's point, like you really need to know your audience, because I thought it was super effective, and it may have not be like, hitting
Diana, we are all the biggest, hardest critics on ourselves. Look at, you created this. I'm going to give you a nice little like you're okay. It's not all you, but I did take some of what you created for Do As We Do. Shout out to you. But like this graphic is it's a little bit of 50-50 of my bad art, and all the good stuff is Diana's. But my point is that you grow over time. You were the hardest critic, but it's awesome. Like everything you created for us back in the day, like you only got better and got better and got better and got better over time, right? Like our style changes, it doesn't matter.
And that's the thing. Like I choose to keep going, and like, okay, this is not good enough. Let me try different, because in anything we have to keep growing and evolving and getting better at it. So I didn't understand that before. I mean, I understand that you grow in this and that, but I didn't understand about sharing your gifts. And the more that you create, the more that you do, the better that you get. So, people have always, oh, well, you did this and you did that and you taught yourself this. So why would you share your knowledge with somebody that's not, and at one point it messed with my head, and I was like, hey, they're not paying me for me to share my knowledge with them. But then I got this. I think I heard Steve Harvey or one of those, videos on Instagram, and it really like made sense. It said, if you stop yourself, or if you hold those things to yourself, you'll never grow. Like you'll never grow. You'll never get better. One day somebody will be like, here's $10,000 for this image, or because you got so good and you shared so much that those are just your gifts enhancing.
And I think through sharing knowledge that you have and skills that you have, sharing things that you've learned over the years with someone else, for free, yes, with someone else who needs it. I mean, I think there's a learning part for me when I do that with people. You know, I when I'm sharing, I'm gonna learn something new as I'm sharing it with them, because of the things they ask and the ideas that they come up with, or the things they ask that give me new ideas. And then it also comes back to you tenfold, because that person, you help that person elevate themselves and move up a notch. It's going to come back to you. That person's going to be there for you, and they're going to have knowledge in some area that you don't. And you know, and they're gonna be there to help you. They're gonna remember that.
100%. And on that note, you guys, I think we're gonna I'm gonna hit the edit button just on that end, so that Sam can be my outgoing all the time when I figure out how to do that on StreamYard. But so we're gonna wrap this up and tell everyone. I'm gonna let whoever wants to go first how they can connect with you guys.
Go ahead, Sam.
So best way to connect with me is probably LinkedIn. But I am on Facebook and Instagram. I'm not cool enough to be on YouTube.
Yes, you are.
But yeah, LinkedIn is definitely a good way to connect with me. And
or email you.
Yeah, or email me. Yeah. You know, samgainous@gmail is probably the best way. Or, you know,
Sam at ApproveShield.com.
Is there as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead. And for me, just through LinkedIn is the easiest way to get a hold of me.
Yeah. Awesome.
Oh, I did forget Farmers Only as well.
FarmersOnly.com.
Well, you also will be on the Kind Kids again, and we're gonna do a rotation of you two. You'll come back on in another 3 weeks if nobody else will be on with me. Maybe I'll have the holiday segments. We got to be here. We got to
keep saying that if no one else will be on.
Yeah, that doesn't make me feel that great.
Because you guys know it's not true. Come on. Hey, we're here to make kindness cool again. #kindness cool again.
Well, that wasn't very kind.
Jeez, you guys are so sensitive. Okay, I love you guys, and I believe that and I've been asking you guys since I start Kind Kids, okay, to be on. So don't even start with me too, right?
It took about 10 years to get me on live. So.
Yeah, and Sam, you told me no for at least.
I did tell you no. You would just always call me and say, "Well, I called 10 other people, and now I'm calling you."
That's not true, but I love it. So we will be here. Well, I'll be here. They may or may not. You guys have an open invitation, okay? All my do as we doer volunteers, I have said this before. You guys don't take me seriously, but I'm speaking from Mama Bear voice.
Oh, no.
Invitation to be on Kind Kids whenever you want, okay? As long as you're not on here angry and pissed off at the world, right? You got to keep me in check too. So I do appreciate everyone on this holiday weekend. We know it's busy. So when y'all catch that replay, make sure you listen for the secret call to actions that Diana threw out there, and that I put in the comments. Yes. And maybe when Sam goes and watch the Instagram video that I did on IG before we got on here, he would have asked his call to action question. He's going to love it.
Oh yeah, I heard that one. I think it was live though, right? You were live, yeah, so I don't think he'll be able to hear it.
No. So IG, real fast. You IG, when you go live, it now comes up in your feed. You don't have, it's not in your story. I hit it. You have to choose, right? And I chose to hit it in my story. So Sam's gonna have to go look, like in my feed, not my story. Okay. And I mean, I'm talking to the Instagram queen, but I'm saying I'm not using the right terminology. Otherwise, Diana would correct me and know exactly what I'm talking about. But I'm speaking Kimberly. That means I need to get off the air right now. I love you guys very much. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. Please share this with your friends or some other Kind Kid that you know needs to be on Kind Kids Live, because we want them on. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.